It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night.
Welcome, football fans, to the birthplace of America, the city of brotherly love, the place where you'll find the best cheesesteak made in this country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Jake Elliott is out and ready to kick this one away. And we're underway from Philadelphia. Return starts at the 9. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So out come the Giants. Their first drive of the game coming up. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
He's contained at the line for no gain. That's Nolan Smith there for the stop.
And the defense was all over that throw, able to stop it right at the line. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in a hurry.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Wilson to throw it. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. Malik Neighbors, the one he was throwing for. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting to completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
The screen pass falls incomplete.
So many coaches love 3rd downs and practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs. But Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in. But it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy of many. He's elevated his teammates around him, and he's got a skill set that I know a lot of quarterbacks would sure love to have.
He's got Devontae Smith, and they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 28 out of that play, and that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First down throwing for Hurts. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown there. And now it's 2nd down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Hurts trying again on second down. That's incomplete, trying to set up the screen there. First time this game they've looked to him. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Hurts throwing again. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Now on 4th down, on comes Braden Mann to boot this away for the Birds. No return on this one. It's going to make it out of bounds and across the 25, spotted at the 24. The Giants taking the field for their 2nd possession. And they haven't gotten their legs under them on offense just yet, Brock. 3 plays and a punt on their opening drive. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They go right back to Tracy. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Cooper DeJean with the stop.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. That one gains 7. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Wilson on 1st and 10. Hits his running back. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, and really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Russ is cooking again. Short pass brought in. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Eagles territory.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure. You sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. That one ends up a gain of 6. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
1st down, and they go right back to him. And they had that one contained right at the line. Cooper DeJean with the stop. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Not every corner in this league can make the play he just made right there. Sure, there's pure coverage guys, not really known for their tackling, but this guy, well, he's someone who isn't afraid to stick his nose in there and make a stop.
Russ now from the gun. Man there, it's Malik Neighbors. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. They kick the running back in motion. First down, here's Russ. And no luck there, and that throw falls to the ground.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first, it's 2nd down. A handoff to Tracy. And he gets this down to the 22 before being stopped. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. Finds him over the middle. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. The rookie out of Alabama, they're on the tackle.
You know, I don't mind the scheme. In fact, I like the call. Just not on that 3rd down in particular. Need to get it closer to the sticks to have a chance to move those chains.
On 4th down, Wilson escapes his grasp. That's cut beyond the marker. It's an 11-yard gain to back up the considerable gamble there on 4th down, and they move those chains.
Well, things weren't about to end after the first hit or the second. This tight end had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch, and he was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
It's a design boot. Well, very quick throw, but they couldn't connect.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
So the incompletion on 1st, here's 2nd and goal. Throwing again, here's Wilson. And he scores, it's a New York touchdown! The Giants go up 6-0 here in the 1st. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Bronk. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Gano ready to send this away. Here's Avery Williams on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Eagles about set to get going for their 2nd drive. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. He's got Smith. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. They run it with Saquon Barkley. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you want to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Hurts now from the gun. This finds Smith. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. That's the end of our 1st quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Neither side separating much so far. We'll return to the link right after this. Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Eagles have the football. They have it on 2nd and short. Hurts to throw. Taken in by Smith. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Micah McFadden able to make the play.
It was as if the defense knew what play was coming. That was a play they knew they could defend, and boy, did they ever, stopping it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. They'll go from the gun with Barkley. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. They go to Barkley again. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. From the pistol, Hurts. Still has some space inside the 35. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. Second down now, 7 to go. Now Hurts. That pass caught by Dotson. And he'll cover up as they touch him down a few yards short of the 1st.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Hurts with it on 3rd and short. To the sideline, catch secured. Wow, he made that one look easy for the 1st.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And he's able to get this down to the 13. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with a quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. This from 35 yards away. The kick by Hopkins is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Gray now on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Wilson now from the gun. He's got him. That's Tracy. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him behind the line.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
Second and 15. Escapes out to the left. He tucks it and takes off. And he slides to a stop after a great run, but still not quite enough for that 1st down.
This is one of those occasions that it looks so promising when you take off as a quarterback, and then you're reminded just how fast these defenses are in the NFL. Couldn't quite move the chains, but it wasn't for a lack of trying.
Wilson on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. He gets 6 on that play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Running back sent in motion. Wilson on 1st and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Cooper DeJean with the stop. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Cooper DeJean with the stop. That run good for a gain of 2, and just like that, we've hit our 2-minute warning. Defense looking to defend the marker on third down. Russ is going to cook here. Pass cut by Tracy. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
First and 10 from the 41. Blitz coming, Russ. And a man is there to knock that away. Clean breakup on that throw. And that'll bring up second down.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Russ now from the gun. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces third down.
Oh, those linebackers. Those linebackers. They seem to be in the thick of every play and some of the quickest reaction times out there. He needed a quick reaction there to get a finger on the throw. It changed its direction.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Once more, it's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and he locates Johnson. He picks up 28 on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
The drive picks up here, first and 10. Play action, it's Wilson. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. Second down coming up.
That's a very quick trigger, and the hurried throw was much...
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. So what we're all looking for here, did he secure the catch and maintain it while also getting both feet down?
Yeah, this is why it's a perfect look. This is why teams scout body control and field awareness for these pass catchers. For moments like this, he did not have much margin for error, and it happens oh so fast.
So upon further review and a consultation from Game Day Central, the call overturned. So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Russ is cooking again. Has his man, it's Tracy. And this one doesn't go far.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break off something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
The Giants using their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Eagles with an extra man in the secondary for this third down. Sticking in the air with Wilson. The Eagles swarm in and take him down. And the hits just keep coming for them on this play, it seems. Elsewhere on the field, they've got a player hurt and in need of some attention. On fourth down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out from 37 yards in the right hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
Anytime you start sniffing that red zone and you don't score 6, you only come away with 3 points. Not what you were looking for on the call sheet.
go, ready to send this away. Here comes Williams on the return. Finds some space, he's past the 30. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. The Eagles taking over now late in the first half. And normally they'd need this out, Brock, but facing such a small deficit, good chance they try to get a field goal here before the break. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Second and 3 now. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Escapes the pocket. He's keeping it. Philadelphia going to spend its second timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Hurts now from the gun. This one snagged by Dallas Goedert. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10, here's Hurts. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down. Pressure coming, and it's Hurts. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it. Jake Elliott out to put up 3 for the Eagles. This will be from 52 yards. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. Back to throw it. He's going to push one deep down the right. That's grabbed inside the 30. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half. So late in the half, Brock, why not take a shot downfield? And their prayers are answered as they come up with that late touchdown.
You know, this is just a case of who wants it more. If you're in that secondary, all you're thinking is knock the ball down.
Yeah.
Even if you make some contact, right? They rarely call pass interference on plays like that. But somehow, some way, the ball winds up as a touchdown.
Gano for the PAT. And the kick is good, so they add 7 to their lead on the final play of our first half. We're through 2 here with the Giants overcoming home field advantage. They've got the lead at the break. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams heading out of the tunnel, and we're ready to get back to it. For the call of the second half, here is the great Kate T. Scott. Kate?
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Gano ready to send this away. Return starts from the goal line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So to begin the third quarter, the Eagles offense returning to the field. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Hurts. Taken in by Smith. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
From the 34. Able to get it to Barkley. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets them the first.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st down, Hurts finds him over the middle. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Giants side of the field.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Hurts throwing again. Throw left side, complete. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. And that's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done. He kept this drive going by getting beyond the line to gain.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. This one finds Goddard. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
2nd and 3 now. Option play, they give it to Barkley.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Hurts setting up to throw. Chased out to his right. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. This a 50-yard look from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Like the best kickers in this league, he's just keeping on with his job. That's a third now. He's knocked through the uprights. 3 at a time's not going to get it done in this game, though. Eventually, they got to start running them out for some PATs.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. Gray now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Giants and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. A throw left side finds Johnson. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Wilson with it on 1st. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he drives it up past the 45. A 4-yard pickup, and they're just inches shy as we reach 3rd down.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on the 3rd and short.
Ross off the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. On play action now, Wilson. This finds Bellinger. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Russ now from the gun. Connects with Slayton. And he gets him around 6 there. Zach Bond with the tackle.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. A give to Tracy up the middle. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Wilson now from the gun. Looking touchdown, but can't connect. Thought he had a touchdown there. So it'll be third down. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react. And then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them first and goal. Russ setting to throw. Forced out to his right. And they take this in for the score. The Giants push their lead further to start the half. Russell Wilson with the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Gano ends the point after. And the Giants lead by 15 now. Gano ready to send this away. Here comes Williams on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Philadelphia getting ready to go on offense. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. That pass complete to Goddard. And he's going to go out of bounds, looks a little short of the 35. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Barkley trying this up the gut. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Here's another carry for Barkley. And the struggles continue for him tonight. He's only able to get back to the line. Ground game stopped again. That leaves them with a 4th and short. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. It's the Eagles in possession to start. They trail, but that lead is reachable. The Eagles are in punt formation. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. And this one is kicked up towards the clouds. And that fair catch brought in just beyond the 30-yard line. The Giants about to get to work on offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Wilson on 1st and 10. Connects with Johnson. That one goes for 25 yards. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball into your hands, number 1. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
1 play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. On 1st down, it's Wilson. Has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They run. Here's Tracy. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
First down, here's Russ. Finds his target, Robinson. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see find a completion just like that.
And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Into the hands of Neighbors. And he takes it in. Touchdown, New York! The Giants have likely locked up the win right there. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock, but I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, Kate. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
That one right down the middle. And the Giants grow the lead now to 22 points. Gano ready to send this away. Brings in the kick at the 9. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And he brought this one almost to midfield before he's tackled. Philadelphia's offense back out for another drive. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, that's a pretty modest pickup for a QB keeper. On a traditional handoff, you'll take that yardage, but those QB keepers, so many times, they're really designed, Kate, for chunk plays in mind, double digits, and they nearly got it there.
Man in motion here. 2nd and 4. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. A gain of 27 yards there. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
You know these teams, they track every step of their players. Many of them wear GPS units in their uniform to track how much mileage. I don't care what the stat sheet said of how long that gain was. That dude ran a long way, all the way across the field, but it paid dividends.
And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 23. Short pass brought in. And he'll go down here at the 16.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. I picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. To the ground with Barkley. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Yeah, I get it. Fans will measure a running back's merit by touchdowns, yards, the fantasy football world we live in. But as coaches and teammates, Kate, they want something a little bit more. They want to see plays like that, a guy who will always get the short yards in a critical spot like that.
Moving quickly, trying to get set again. 1st and 10, here's Hurts. Down he goes, the Giants got to him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. But the problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers, and they got one right there with that sack.
He's on the move. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets him up with a 3rd down.
Kate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but my dad was a driver's ed teacher, and I could just hear him right now say, son, take this out of reverse and put it in drive, because this one's going nowhere right now. A drastic change on this play needed, and maybe a whole lot of luck to keep this series alive.
Cut out left. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Eagles hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. Well, best of luck here. It's 4th and a considerable distance. On 4th down, Hurts. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles get it back to within 2 possessions. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Eagles offense staying out there. They're going for 2. He's throwing for it. Buys time, rolling right. And he's going to cross for the score. They trim that deficit down to 14. Ooh, you could feel the greater sense of urgency from him there, Brock. Trailing on the scoreboard, and he took the initiative to convert that 2-point try.
Yeah, you always need your quarterback to be able to manufacture points, but especially when you're down. He's got the license to improvise anytime. And what a confidence builder to everyone around him when your QB can make something out of nothing.
Well, don't look up at the clock, everybody. That is certainly not their friend as they get set to try an onside kick. And the Giants' hands team secures the football.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The numbers tell you, Kate, time and again, it is so hard to recover these onside kicks. And when you got an opponent prepared for it, well, that makes it even more difficult.
The Giants ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Good starting field position for the Giants as they head up 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And all he can get is 1 yard, ran that right into the defensive front. Now whistles and a timeout taken quickly by the defense. 1:50 left to go. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Tracy once more. And they make this stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. The Eagles decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They go right back to Tracy. And he's going to take this only to about the 31. They manage a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. A handoff to Tracy. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A pickup of 2, and that run doesn't get it for them either. It's 4th and 2. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And that run very short, only getting to the 27. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
And what a battle of wills we just got to see. Fighting in the trenches on a 4th down run. Trying to play conservative, keep it on the ground to power it across. But there was no overcoming a front, just as equally motivated to get off the field.
On 1st down, Hurts. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Shotgun snap for Hurts. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
Looking to throw it. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
This undoubtedly the final snap of what's already a decided contest. Desperation time here on 4th. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. Big shot is hauled in. Feet are inbounds. Oh, what a play! So it's a win for the visiting Giants. And Brock, we all know any win is a good win, but playing against a division rival, oh, it always feels so much better dealing them one in the L column.
These are the teams that know you best, Kate, but also the ones that you know best. So yes, it is just a little bit sweeter when you take care of business in your own division.
So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a well-earned win for the Giants as we say so long from Philadelphia.